everybody, and welcome to Tales from the VW. I hope you're all doing well out there and everything is going swimmingly and in your direction. I hope that life for you is tickety-boo. So, I've been asked to do a specific video on campervans, on a budget as it were. Now, I'm not a wealth of knowledge on campervans. In actual fact, I know very, very little about them. I do love them, and I've loved them for many, many years. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of camping, but it wasn't in campervans. It was either wild camping, mainly wild camping, and it was either under canvas in form of a tent, or on quite a lot of occasions it was under a basher. So it's only sort of later in life that I've come to enjoy the comfort of a campervan and seeked one out as my special preference. And that's how I got my first campervan that you guys know, which was Kez. I got her, I guess it's about 18 months ago now, maybe not even that. Time flies, who knows. So let's just say 18 months ago I bought Kez. And I got Kez, I think this is the lesson to be learned. I got what I thought was a cracking deal on Kez. She was more or less all there and all good to go. There was just a few bits that needed doing to her that luckily and thankfully Damon from Nina the Ambulance Camper and indeed Rick Van Man helped me with, or did it really for me. But apart from that, she was good to go. She was sort of everything that I kind of wanted, and I did absolutely love having her for the period of time that I had her. I didn't really get to use that much, and the reason I didn't get to use that much is there was a lot of problems with the electrics that I didn't really notice it until kind of I'd had her for a few days, and by that time, there was not a lot I could do. I'd already bought her. So I thought I got a deal on her, and I think I paid around about 4,600 or something. I can't remember exactly to the penny, but it was around about between the sort of £4,500 to £5,000 mark for her. And she was a great van, but unfortunately the electrical problems meant that I couldn't use her as much as I wanted to, and I was continually buying batteries. So even though I thought I got a deal, or a good deal, I actually didn't. So I don't really know. So anyway, subsequently I traded her in against the VW that I've got now, against the T4. Now the T4 is considerably smaller. It hasn't got any, or as much headroom, anywhere near as much headroom as Kez had, but it suits me a lot better. It was quite a considerable amount more than I paid for Kez, but the thing with the T4 is it was all spec. She was good to go, everything that was in there. In fact, the only thing that wasn't in there really was a heater, but something that small, I'm not really sure whether you require a heater in it, a diesel heater in it, because there's not much of an area to warm up. But it had everything that I required, and it had kind of everything that I had in Kez, with the exception of a fully made up bed. It's just a rock and roll bed in there now, which again suits me because it's only me using it. I paid a considerable amount more. I paid, double what I'd paid for Kez, and it's great because there aren't any, touch wood, thank God, there aren't any problems with her. She's great, absolutely brilliant. Now, it costs me to fill the tank up, and I think this is because Maisie, the AA van, the VW camper, because she's ex-AA, I think that's why she's got a very, very large tank. So it cost me £114 to fill the tank up. But saying that, it lasts me for a very, very long... I think I'm just over half a tank now, and I've done 500 miles. So, yeah, what's that? 500 miles on 57 quid. Can't really knock that, really, I don't think. It might be just... it might be normal, but that's great. It does me. So, anyway, that's what I get from her. The insurance cost me, I think it's around about £279 or £289 a year, which again, and that's fully comp, which is great. And that means that I can keep her on the road for Apart from MOTs, which obviously there are things that might need doing as she gets a little bit on. She's not exactly young now, but as she gets even older, there probably will be more things that come up, but no more so than on any other vehicle, I wouldn't imagine. I hope not, anyway. I think if I was given the opportunity, if I had the time and I had the money and I had the know-how and the wherewithal, I think what I probably would have done is I probably would have got just a plain blank canvas of a van. So just a normal van. I would have bought, I think I would have gone for medium wheelbase as opposed to short or long. But what I would have done is I would have tried to incorporate as much in that as possible. And of course you can do it in your own time, at your leisure. You know, you can change your plans as you go along, or you can have a plan that you want to set out with and just change that. So it's kind of organic in a way. It develops organically. So you get the van that you want, and it might take a bit longer, but you've got everything that you require. You could have bought. I mean, you can buy sort of vans quite relatively cheap that are quite decent vehicles, but the cost, I guess, comes in when a camper van is fully finished or fully detailed, and then you're looking at paying sort of through the nose or a considerable amount of money. And anything I would think below. I would think anything below, I don't know, maybe £5,000 for a camper van. You might just be buying a lot of trouble. Only going on my past experience and going on the experience stuff that I've gathered from other people, information I've gathered from other people. But I would say that you could buy a relatively good van quite cheap, and you could sort of develop it yourself, as I say, set it up yourself, get it all the way you want it, and you could probably do that for a few £1,000s. And of course, the more knowledgeable you are about or handy you are with tools, and the more knowledgeable you are about mechanics, then the cheaper it's going to be for you. As I say, I'm not really leading authority on this. I've just got the money, gone out and bought myself something that's kind of off the peg, as it were. But saying that, even off the peg, there are still things that I want to change and want to do to Maisie, even though she's a small van. There are still things that I want to do. So it's always an ongoing project. I don't think that, well, I can't speak for everybody, that people I know that have got camper vans, they're always ongoing with developing it. They're always looking for maybe, I don't know, cheaper ways of incorporating certain things into their vehicle, or looking at something that gives them a more comfortable and enjoyable time in their vehicle. So whether it be a bed, or whether it be the seating, or whether it be the cooker, or an oven, or a fridge, or whatever. This is what I've noticed with people. It's an ongoing project with them. If you're lucky and you've got 40, 50, 60,000 pounds, then you can go out and you can get exactly what you want, I'm sure. But even then, you'll probably find there are things that you can live with and things that you can't live with. But overall, I'm where I am at the moment. I'm very happy where I'm at the moment. As I say, Maisie is a T4, but she's everything I need, and she's everything I require. But there are little bits as well that I want to tweak. But that's it really. So, as I say, if I had the time and I had the money and I had somewhere that I could work on it, then I probably would have got a blank canvas or a carcass, just the van itself, and I say let it organically grow and develop. But that's it really. These are just my opinions. Other people's opinions may be totally different to mine and just as valid. I don't know. But I hope you got something from that. And it's I'm not the right person to be asking about vans really, and camper vans, because I don't really know that much about. I've not been around them long enough to know the full ins and outs of them and what you should be looking for and what you shouldn't be looking for. I only knew what I was looking for, and I went out and I got as close to it as possible. And I say the first one, because I thought I was getting a cheap deal, because it was all singing, all dancing, turned out to have a very severe limp. Unfortunately, that sort of cost me the van in the end, because I then lost money on it, trading it against Well, I didn't lose money on it, but I had to sell it for a cheaper price than I paid for it to enable me to buy Maisie. So if you go out there and you're looking for a van, you know, take my advice, don't take my advice. It's just my advice after all. Perhaps you want to ask around a few more people, find out a bit more information, and then go from there. As I say, you know, I'm not the oracle when it comes to vans. It's probably best to get a series of opinions, and those are just mine, and that's all I'm saying. They're just mine. They might be credible, they might not be, but they're just mine, and they're credible to me. So take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves, and I will speak to you all very soon. I hope that that kind of answers your question. It probably has made you more confused now, Brandon. But yeah, I hope that's kind of semi-answered your question, or giving you a semblance of an idea where to start from. If you've got the space, you've got the know-how, and you want to... The thing about doing a van over time as well is you don't have to find that cash, that big chunk of money to actually go out and buy what you want. You know, you can buy, as I say, you can buy a van and develop it yourself, and you can put as much time and as much effort into it as you want, and you know, you can pay for materials what you want to pay for them. Just make sure you get half decent materials. So that's it. Okay, guys, I will leave you with that. Sorry if it's very confusing. As I say, I'm not, you know, I'm